Hi guys, this is a follow-up from the video that I did about the most powerful Trinity crystal. It's around my neck here. There you go. And we're going to talk about the Moldavite trios today, if that's okay with you. We're going to go into a little depth into how to use it, why we should use it, when we should use it, and where. These are the things that I have been practicing for many years now, and I hope that what I share with you today is informative and helps you a little bit along your journey. The one thing I always tell my students, or should I say friends who come to learn about crystals on the crystal course, is always follow your guidance and intuition above any teacher that you listen to. That way you become your own teacher, your own guide, your own healer, your own scientist in a natural manner, and you learn to understand energy because you have been that person who feels, observes, and experiments. Other than that, you will just be a regurgitator of information from me, which doesn't really make you a real healer. So always, above all, just say, actually, Mark, that doesn't feel right. This feels right. And that's when I go, now you've got it. So first of all, the Trinity that I started with and continued up till this day has always protected me in many different arenas, areas of work, family, and any situation given that was challenging. So if I had to have a meeting with people that I wasn't sure whether I was going to resonate with, I always brought my trio with me. So the first thing I would suggest is wear your trio whenever you're unsure about a situation in your life, because the trio has an energy that will heighten your awareness always. So it's a great, even though you don't know it's on your neck, just wear it and get yourself off to whatever meetings you're doing, and you'll always find that within that space of time your intuition will heighten. You'll know whether they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes, being a bit cheeky, or you will have feelings or thoughts of the future. So what happens is, if you're sat with somebody and you're having a business meeting, you look at that soul as an energetic level rather than a mind level, and you'll start to feel them, and you'll start to have this kind of intuition of whether they're going to be good or bad in the future. It's nothing negative about that. You're just listening to your gut feeling, and that's why the trio helps you with that energy of feeling and being in tune to that person. And always go with that, because the mind tries to kick in and say, oh no, they're really lovely. Actually, no, I should have gone with that feeling. The feeling always knows, always. That is your higher intuition. So the Moldavite is that energy that heightens your awareness, and the Herkimer diamond brings clarity to what would be a conversation that has no meaning to what you're feeling. And it's really interesting. The second thing I often use the trios for is when I'm writing. So then I would like to say that a really good thing is when wearing or holding your trio, try to at least bring it together with any creativity or anything that you're doing, like writing a book, painting, anything that you want to create. In that moment of the creation, again, you will find yourself being in a vibration of attunement. So basically, it's like having somebody placing their healing hand on your heart when the Trinity is there. And I often use the crystal when doing something creative in a position on my body. So if I'm becoming creative, depending on what that creative flow is, just say if it's I want to attune to higher love, I place the crystal round about here where my heart is. If I'm wanting to do more creative things, which is heightenedly spiritually aware, any kind of work spiritually, I'm going higher, I'm coming up here. If I'm working alongside people who are negative and issues and problems that could arise, it would be hanging further down. So going back to how to use this crystal, when you are working on an energy of creativity. The Moldavite brings in this kind of amazing frequency around your body, and this kind of, we call it in the field of work we do, channeling. And the trio is an amazing crystal to help you channel. It has both frequency of cleansing negativity around you, so it absorbs the negativity from the tektite. The Moldavite just transforms your energy to a new frequency, a very high frequency, and the amazing diamond brings even a greater energy, not just clarity, but it brings a greater amplification to these crystals that really does create a good space, a good environment for you to, oh, I just felt something there which isn't me, or oh, where did that just come from? That is channeling. And channeling is an incredible energy to be in, because you normally find those that channel are those that really have created something incredible. So a lot of books have been channeled and they've been huge successes. A lot of people channel products, a lot of people channel paintings, a lot of people, and so on. So you get it. So the crystal is fabulous for that. Also, if somebody's not feeling well and down, I often take my trio and hang it around their neck for the time that you are with them. The reason why is because it's changing their frequency, because your frequency is already at a good frequency. So hang it around somebody's neck, or even let them borrow it for a day or 2 or 3 days, something like that. Just say wear it and just keep it and hold it whenever you're not feeling too good. I found over time that that's been a huge success. But there is a downside to it, and that downside is that they won't let go of it, and they won't you end up giving it to them, which is beautiful. I'm always gifting. I mean, today I was gifting. I gifted, I don't know why, but I had a tektite in my pocket as usual, but it was the bigger piece, and I thought, oh, this is really lovely. For some reason I need to take this out with me. And then I met a beautiful soul, and she mentioned something about crystals, and oh, here we go, this is it, this is the one. I don't know how it happened, but there you go, it's for you. It's beautiful. And that was a tektite. I actually showed you last night on the last video. That was it, the big beautiful chunk of tektite. Anyway, so these are tips, okay, for your journey. These are just tips, working with it. For you as a beautiful soul that you are, you're going to start to feel differently. And those moments of feeling differently, you can attune to which crystal you want to work with more. And so, take for instance, if I'm in a position where I'm not feeling too good, I'll hold the tektite. Okay, and the reason why is because if I'm not feeling as great energy, so if I'm feeling low energy and negative, I will just hold the tektite for 10 or 15 minutes and breathe. And that normally brings me back again. If I want to attune to something higher and I want to understand life or a situation or a family member, I want to attune, I want the answer, I will then hold the tektite, the Moldavite here, sorry, just there, see? So I'll hold it like that. If I want to become more clear within my thoughts, my feelings, I'll hold the Herkimer and also the tektite. So I've always got the tektite, but I've always got my finger on the certain crystal that I'm working with. If I'm wanting more about balance and my whole body balance, I'll hold all 3 of them. And this is normally how you see me hold them, like this. So if I let go, you'll see I've got all 3 of them. So my hand is here and I've got the other 2 in my thumb. So do I need to touch them? Well, the touch for me on my fingers is very important. No idea why, but it is. The same with where I place the Trinity. So there's certain places I'll place it when I'm doing self-healing on a night, or if I've got the crystal in my hand, I will place that crystal. I'll give you an idea. This is how I would normally work. I take the crystal like this and place it like this, so I'm doing the self-healing work, and the other hand is like this. So I'll move it, and I move it around the body to certain places, and I'll go up and I'll go across and I'll hold it. So I use the crystal in a way as an amazing tool. One of the things I really enjoy working with this crystal is what's called, can you see how I've got it like this? So this is how I would do it. The point is that I'd get my palm up against the Herkimer and then just gently spread my fingers slightly towards the end. And now you've got the energy that comes through your hand, and it comes like, can you see just the tip there? So it's gonna come through all crystals to the end. So this is kind of like a spiritual crystal, deep and extremely powerful. That really hurts, by the way. This is really hurting my forehead and inside my head. It's hurting round about here in the middle of my head now. So this is, and always remember your hand, if you're ever doing this kind of work, your hand's like this, okay? So there's some sort of issue in my head, and I'm feeling that I need to get my crystal further down as I'm doing this. So inside there's an issue in here. So the crystal is now from the Herkimer diamond, the Moldavite, and the energy is going straight through and it's throbbing. I've now got a throbbing pain, which I didn't have a few minutes ago. So when you're doing this kind of work, which is intense, you're isolating certain parts of the body. And this is my brain, which is being isolated in a certain place here. The pain is starting to ease up, but it feels like somebody's squeezing my forehead. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so that feels a lot better. So these are the things that I would do on a daily basis. If my eyes are hurting, I would lay the tektite on my eyes to absorb the stress and the strain of daily life of what I'm witnessing. So if my heart is feeling as if it's being beaten because of what it's feeling from day to day and people's pains and sufferings, I would wear the crystal and put it on my heart and then place my hand there, and with my other hand I hold out. This is, again, you're receiving great energy that's penetrating. This is also an amazing crystal for cleansing and clearing body issues, whether that's a physical pain, whether it's a surface, a reaction as your body's screaming to clear something away. Again, if you concentrate gently and just spend 5, 10, 15 minutes, you might start to feel the pain, but then the pain eases, which means that it's clearing and helping the body physical to heal itself. So it works in tandem. That's why when I say I wear this most of the time, I know my body is being healed constantly through the energy of the trio. And as the trio is penetrating the whole of the body, cleansing, clearing, awakening, strengthening, my physical body is reacting to that and feeling so much better. For children, this crystal is great just to allow them just to hold it and close their eyes, and it's a beginning of meditation. It's actually quite special. I used to do this a lot on children's groups and teenage groups when they used to come here. I used to get the trios and put them into their hands, and then I used to give them a talk. What happens is, when the Moldavite, the taktite and the Herkimer diamond is in the hand of a teenager, and you sit with them and talk to them, their own energy, without them knowing, becomes very open. They don't know what's happening, they don't see, but their energetic field is changing. So from being giggly and silly and thinking this is all nonsense, all of a sudden you see a transformation, because the brain is no longer functioning in the same manner because of their energetic field. It's changed. So another good thing that I used to do is put that crystal trio into the hand of children that I just begin the healing work. And before I start the healing work of energy work, I would talk to them. So they'd hold my crystal without knowing. Their energetic field would change, and sometimes you'll be able to penetrate them with words that blew them away. But if you didn't have that crystal, then they'd still be in that mindset and fear and worry and nonsense and programmed setting, as children are, as we are, as we're being programmed. So that's another amazing thing you can use as well. So that is not just for children, but it also works on stubborn adults, and it works on animals too. So if you put a crystal near an animal that struggles with love and compassion, and it scratches, put the trio next to them, you'll find that they'll calm down very quickly. And it does work. And I used to bring my trio when I used to work on horses that had just been, and I don't like this is why I stopped working on horses, that had just been studded. So basically they're just made to have sex with every horse. And I'm sure there's horse people out there know what I'm saying. Sometimes you can overstud them and they go insane. They actually want to break the doors down and go mad. And it really is the most awful feeling. And I just never got used to it, ever. And I didn't like it at all. And it sends them crazy, literally. So when I had my trio, I would work on the horse, and it would take sometimes 2 or 3 hours. But to calm a horse down that's gone insane from this constant studying. Anyway, but like I said, that's good for animals as well. And it is, trust me, it's really good. It is an energetic crystal. It does heighten your awareness, but it also brings balance. So within that balance brings peace and harmony. So often when I go to sleep, I would keep the crystal on its hanger, and as I lay down, I'd place it on there and meditate to sleep or self-heal. So I would leave that there and work on self-healing on my body, always with one hand receiving and the other hand just scanning. I call it scanning. The pure energy healing method of scanning teaches us that any kind of heat or freezing cold or any tingling or anything that happens to the physical body is an indicator of energy healing that is necessary. So when you scan your body, you might think, oh, I've got a problem in my liver, I feel, then you will go to the liver. So sometimes you can pinpoint a certain place, and then there's the liver. So you can do one of two things here. When you go around the body and if you feel a pain, you can literally stay where you are, because there's a possibility that X never marks the spot. So if I go here and go, oh my God, my leg's killing, I won't suddenly go to my leg, because maybe this is the issue of my leg. So if I keep this here for maybe 5 minutes and the leg pain disappears, then you know that this has something to do with the leg. However, you might feel that you need to go to the leg because this isn't really working as much. And so then you'll go to the leg and place your hand on the leg. So healing isn't really, in my world, in my teaching, is not ABC. It isn't pranic, it isn't Reiki, it isn't hands-on, hands-off symbols. It's trying to attune to what's right for your body. And every single body is unique. That's why I don't believe in symbols in that sense. I believe symbols are an amazing tool to help us believe in what we're doing. But if you can believe in what you're doing without symbols, without tools, without anything, then that's the greatest healer of all. And then you become the greatest teacher and an amazing pupil that I am every day. And things change and shift. But the one thing I've always noticed is that I've always gone back to these 3 crystals. So whenever there's a problem in the energetic field, and there is, because the stars change, the alignment of the stars, everything changes always. The one thing that is constant is change. So we're always changing our body energy, always, always. What we eat, what we drink, what we think about, who we see, what we witness every day, our emotions, they're always shifting. Therefore, a healing session is always going to be different each time you do a healing session on yourself. Makes sense. So you're basically bringing your body and parking it in a garage and saying to the mechanics, go on then, do your stuff. So then you do your stuff. You start to check the body, just like they stick a wire into the car, and it comes up with the diagnostics, and it says, okay, the engine needs this, that, and so you're doing the same thing. You're calling, this is the frequency of the computer pulling in, and you're blasting the energy to where it needs to be. So and then at the same time, because this is great, because the Moldavite is helping you attune to the highest frequency, you start to get downloads, not only of energy, but of frequencies and vibrations that you now have to try and understand what they are. And that's called putting the pieces together. So when you've got the Trinity on, it often helps you put the pieces. Now I get it. Now I understand. Oh my God, that makes sense. And that is why this crystal is incredible, because it has the 3 crystals that bring that energy in and helps you awaken to it because of the clarity, and helps you vibrate at that right energy to bring all the pieces together. So it makes sense. And if there's any negativity anywhere, the tektite is cleansing. So it's a constant jet wash of cleansing. It's a constant, beautiful yet powerful wave of frequency that is healing the body. And the amplification of this beautiful Herkimer diamond is the creation of that energy that heals and helps you along your journey and balances you and awakens you and makes you see things that you didn't see and feel things, and all of a sudden, I feel better. Actually, the bottom line is you feel better when it's on. You feel better, your energy's stronger, your immune system's stronger, so you're going to live longer, you're going to look younger, and I'm going to leave it at that, because that's the first part, and we're going to do a few parts, and I'm going to talk more and more and more about this crystal and how it can change lives, and how I've seen it change lives and made a huge impact in this world. And I've never heard any bad news. The only thing I've ever heard is I haven't felt anything from it. But if you watch some of my older videos, you'll see why. Because things aren't a quick fix. There's no such thing as a quick fix. Everybody wants, fix me, sort me out, do this. Well, protocol, it takes time. How long do you think it took you before you got ill? How long do you think it took you before you stopped feeling and attuning to things? Well, it takes time, in my world, there's a saying, and it's easy to kill, it's easy to break, it's easy to tear, but you try and repair that. You try and bring that back to life. You try and heal that. That takes time, and it takes love, and it takes compassion, and it takes all of those energies that flow. Relax. Don't push. Don't force. Patience. And it will. And you look back and think, wow, I really did a good job there. I really healed myself, and it took time, but aren't I proud of that? And that is the amazingness of the Trinity, the Moldavite trios. They help through all of that process. They bring that energy of calmness, relax, it's okay. I'm feeling better now, and I'm not in such a rush, and I'm worried and panicking, and because the trio makes that energy and frequency around you and within you, and thus you heal and strengthen and feel better. Okay guys, love you all. I'm going to get back to work now, because yes, I do have a life, I do have work to do, and I've got tons of crystals that I've got to work on now and get onto the website. So thank you so much for going to markbajerski.com and buying your beautiful Trinity, Moldavite, Tektite and Herkimer diamonds. They are called trios, Moldavite trios. Aren't they beautiful? Part 1. We'll go on to part 2 tomorrow. Take care.